Reports say that 70% of homes in the US contain mold, and mold can form within 24 to 48 hours if spores have access to water, oxygen, and a food source. So what should you do if you find mold in your home, and when is it okay for you to handle it yourself versus calling a professional? Well, in this video, I'll answer those questions and explain how you can protect yourself and your family from mold. Mold spores are everywhere. You can't get away from them. And mold needs three things to grow: oxygen, food, and water. Well, oxygen is everywhere, and so is food for that matter. Whether it's leftovers left in the fridge too long, or wood, paper, or even sheetrock. The third thing is much easier to control, and that's water. Modern homes are built to stay dry, but that doesn't always happen. And if you own a home, at some point, you're gonna have a leak, whether it's a leaky toilet, or a leaky faucet, or a leaky roof. The question is, how do you deal with it, and at what point do you need to call a professional? Most mold problems can be handled by a homeowner and don't need the intervention of a professional. According to the EPA, a professional is only needed if the moldy area is more than 10 square feet. That is roughly a 3-foot by 3-foot patch. If the mold is bigger than that, or if you have other health concerns, you may want to consider hiring a professional to remediate. In the rest of this video, I'll explain how you as a homeowner can safely and completely remediate mold or potential mold that you find in your home. So the first step in remediating any kind of mold in your home is to identify the source of the moisture and fix it. If you don't stop the moisture from wherever it's coming from, it's only going to get worse. I'm actually here in my attic because I recently found a leak. I was moving around some things up here in storage, and I found that I had a leak that was coming from the roof. Now, my house isn't that old and it's still under warranty. And so I was able to call the builder, have them come out and take a look. It turns out that there was some flashing that had separated from a brick wall. And so they repaired that, and that stopped the source of the leak. And so it's not always that simple, right? You may have to remove some subfloor if it's a toilet leak. You may have to repair a part of a roof if it's something more significant. But the first step is always to identify the source of the leak and then fix it right away. That way you'll remove the moisture from the equation and the mold won't be able to continue to grow. The second step is to remove any visible mold or areas impacted by the mold or moisture. Now, this is not as simple as just wiping the surface. In many cases, you may have to rip out affected areas like sheetrock or insulation. Wet sheetrock will produce mold before it can dry and must be removed. Areas with wood can generally be wiped clean and will dry and most likely don't have to be replaced. This may not be the case, however, for some types of leaks. For example, a toilet leak that has gone undetected for a long time may require a section of subfloor to be cut out and replaced. As you are removing contaminated materials, be sure to take safety precautions and use proper personal protective equipment. At a minimum, this includes gloves, an N95 mask, and safety goggles. If there's extensive mold, then you may want to consider using a Tyvek bodysuit and a respirator. The last thing that you want to do is get mold spores into your lungs. For my small job, the mask, gloves, and safety goggles are sufficient. I'll leave some links below for some products that may be helpful. So once you identify the leak and you've corrected it, the next step, of course, is to remediate it. And that could include removing any kind of damaged materials or moldy materials. And that's one of the reasons I'm here in the attic, is to go back to where that roof leak was and correct it. Now, it wasn't there for very long. As far as I can tell, there is no mold growth, but I'm still going to remove some materials and treat it so that there is no danger of mold growing there. On the subject of removing materials, I want to make one more point about wood. It's very rare to need to remove wooden studs. Mold can be wiped from them and they will dry out. They only need to be removed if they've been damaged or weakened by the mold and moisture, which really takes a while. Think about when a home is being constructed. The wooden structure can sit out in the elements for a few weeks before the roof is up. The wood dries out, and without sustained moisture, mold won't develop. Same thing with homes that are impacted by floods. You may see them remove the sheetrock down to the studs, but the studs rarely need to be replaced and won't have any issues if they're dried and treated properly. The third step in remediating mold is to treat the affected areas. The purpose for this is to kill any remaining mold spores and prevent them from coming back. Some people will recommend bleach for this, and while that will kill mold, it will not prevent it from returning and can also damage certain surfaces. I think the best product is something called concrobium. Concrobium is a chemical product that damages mold spores, preventing them from growing, and prevents new mold spores from clinging to the surface. It's odorless and non-toxic and won't damage porous surfaces like wood. To be clear, this isn't a commercial and they aren't paying me. And aside from an affiliate link that I'll add below, I get no compensation for saying this. I have looked into it, however, and Concrobium is by far the best product to use to remediate and prevent mold. To use it, just spray the affected surfaces, wiping off any mold stains, and then allow it to dry. In fact, in some new homes, they'll actually treat the entire basement with a fogger of Concrobium just to help prevent mold from occurring in the first place. All right, now with the cause of the moisture uncovered and corrected, the affected materials removed and affected areas properly treated, you're ready to make repairs to anything that was removed or damaged, like sheetrock and insulation. And then you're done. I hope that you found this video useful. If you did, please be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel and check out one of my other videos. We'll see you in the next one.